Hello, you guys. It's Chicago Windler. Hopefully, you can hear me. I just wanted to update you on the one storm that is worth watching right now, and it is moving out of eastern Bell County and into western Milam County as we speak. It currently has a severe thunderstorm warning on it. That said, it's starting to show a little curling, a little spin. We'll have to watch it very closely to see if the National Weather Service opts to issue another tornado warning. That said, it has weakened quite a bit as well. So let's show you what it looks like on radar. And there you go. The storm does now have a tornado warning on it, as I thought that might happen. Okay, so we've got a tornado warning, which means I'm actually going to go on the air, but you guys are all caught up on what's going on. And you can basically follow along as we go live on the air, tracking the tornado warned storm. So let me get ready and we'll hop on air ASAP. So right now, tornado warning for Milam County. It is in effect until 9:15, and I'll be right back with you as soon as I get on the air. I had a feeling it was going to turn into a tornado warning. Okay, so we've got a tornado warning now. Do you want to, or can you guys do it for me? Cool. So I'm fired. I'll go live on the air and then just stay on until the tornado warning expires. Warning now for Milam County. If you can keep it running until 9:15.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. And then we're going to do a cut in too. Megan's going to help me out with that.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So guys, if you're watching right now, I'm about to do a weather update on the brand new tornado warning that has been issued for Milam County. And we'll just kind of have you follow along and keep up with everything as we go. Hopefully you guys are staying safe. And once we get on the air, we're just going to stay on throughout. That's kind of the policy, standard operating procedure here at CBS Austin, that we kind of go on and we stay on as long as there's potential for people to be in harm's way. So Milam County tornado warning, that is in effect until 9:15, and it's because the storm really did kind of start to intensify and spin back up again. So we're going to take a closer look at it. Megan, just let me know when you're good to take me. And oh, gotcha. You're trying to do that cool box? Okay. All right. Well, as soon as you've got it, I can't really see myself to know if I put this thing in the right spot or not, but just keep me updated and we'll go as soon as we can. Ooh, did you guys hear that? All right, so I need to put my mouse pad down here so I can navigate with this tornado warning. All right, so we are actually live on Facebook. So Facebook, you guys are hearing everything that's going on as we're getting ready to go on the air. Let's see, kind of monitoring what's going on with a tornado warning that has been issued for Milam County in effect until 9:15. So folks, make sure that you are in a safe spot. If you are in the Buckholz area, that would be my biggest concern right now, is in the Buckholz area, where a tornado warning has been issued for Milam County until 9:15. So you need to be in that safe spot right away. And I'm just going to go ahead and get my ducks in a row while we wait to go on the air. Our director in the control room is getting everything squared away so that we could get ready to do this. But time now is 8:35, and if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can also see me on CBS Austin shortly. Not quite on just yet, but I'll move the camera a little bit. Not that you'll be able to see everything, but you'll at least be able to see me back here on our weather wall, as a tornado warning has been issued for Milam County. So we're watching the system. There might be a debris signal near Buckholtz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take you through some of the areas that could potentially have a possible tornado. And in specific, watching the Buckholtz area and areas just to the east where you can see this area of potential rotation. And at this point, we're watching for areas that could potentially have some debris. So I'm going to go ahead and put our debris tracker on here. I'm going to put it in a loop over the last hour or so. Should there be a tornado, I'm going to put it in the current mode, then more than likely it would be right in here, this area that I'm circling, that's just near the Buckholtz area. Yes, I can see myself, so I need to move a little bit this way. Oh, this thing doesn't turn that way. I'm cool, yeah. Okay, all right, you bet. If it's okay to scoot it this way a little bit, but I know you have to kind of toggle it.
There's like these rubber stuff.
Oh. That's the secret?
Yeah. Or
you still have to kind of jimmy it back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks good.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. All right, so Buckholtz, if there is a tornado, it would be right in here. What I'm looking at right now is our debris tracker, which tries to decipher where there might be potential debris within the tornado or within the storm. I am ready. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right, folks on Facebook, we are going live on CBS Austin in 20 seconds. I'm meteorologist Chik Windler with a weather alert. Milam County in the Buckholtz area, you are under a tornado warning until 9:15. So what I'm going to do is going to get right there and zoom in right there on northern Milam County. And what we're looking at, here's Cameron, and the Buckholtz area is right in here, and there is a pretty evident hook that has developed with this storm. This is the previously tornado warned storm that was in Bell County and has moved into Milam County. So currently what I'm watching is the hook is right over the Buckholtz area. Not only are we looking at a tornado potentially on the ground, which if it is, you need to be in that safe spot away from any windows, lowest floor. At the same time, there's been some hail as large as golf balls. And in Colleen, this storm and into Belton had a history of anywhere between 60 to 75 mile per hour winds. So this is a supercell thunderstorm with a tornado warning on it for the Buckholtz area. So I need you to be in that safe spot right away. What I'm going to show you right now is the velocity. And this is basically going to show you where the rotation is. In the green, that's the wind going toward the radar. The radar is located in Granger in northeast Williamson County. And then the red is going away from the radar. And anytime you have those closely located next to each other, that's what we call a velocity couplet, which is often indicative of at least low-level rotation, if not an actual tornado. So as far as the places that are going to be in the line of this, the tornado warning is in effect until 9:15. just to be sure, I'm going to get the latest on how fast it is moving. I believe it's been moving to the east-southeast at about 30 miles per hour, so bear with me as I can confirm that, and then I will do a storm track for you. So tornado radar indicated rotation moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and do a storm track for you. And we'll take this in Milam County from basically the Buckholz area where it is right now and push it to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So I'll give you some towns and some times. If you are in Milam County, I need you to be in that safe space. 847 for Pettibone, Minerva 908, Hoyt at about 913, and Milano 927. So this is for a tornado warning. We have radar indication of a potential tornado. There was a possibility of a debris signature being picked up earlier just to the south of the Buckholz area. In addition, there is the possibility that we could see some very large hail with this as well. So we have two warnings. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for western Milam County, and then we have the tornado warning, which is located in the red. Pettibone and Minerva, Buckholz should be right over you. You need to be in that safe spot right now as we continue watching this storm track off toward the east at about 25 miles per hour. If you are in any other part of the CBS Austin area, Austin, the Hill Country, San Marcos, you are fine. This is a lone supercell thunderstorm. This is the only storm on radar in our area at this time. And I'll zoom it out just to show you. So this supercell thunderstorm, tornado warning in effect until 9:15 for Milam County. We'll zoom back in a little more closely. I will go ahead and put this into motion for you so you can see exactly how this storm has been evolving. So here we go. This is a loop over the last hour as the storm pushed across Highway 95. It was near Salado. It moved through Colleen, Harker Heights, Belton, just near Temple, and now it's moving into Milam County. And you can see this is where it's got that hook. You can definitely see the hook here on radar, and that's where that spin, that rotation is at the lower levels, and what we call a mesocyclone, which is an indication of that low level rotation. A lot of storm spotters were on this storm earlier this evening, and there was a very definite area of a lowering, a wall cloud, and rotation. Now, the storm previously was tornado warned in Bell County as well. So here we have the tornado warning that's in effect until 9:15 for Milam County. I'll zoom in a little bit more closely. So the worst of the potential hail would be over Buckholz right now. This is Highway 190. So Buckholz in Milam County, you need to be in that safe spot. Potentially some very large hail could be falling out of this, and it's possible that just to the south of Buckholz is where that rotation center is, and that would be where there would possibly be a tornado in the making, if not already having touched down a little while ago, radar indicating that potential. You can certainly see right in here, this would be where the spin in the atmosphere is. Green's going toward the radar, red's going away from the radar, and you can kind of see how there would be a spin right in here. Here's Davila, here's Velas, here's Buckholz, Highway 190, and Cameron. We are in Milam County where that tornado warning is in effect. The storm pushing to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So right now, watching for potential reports. Thus far, the National Weather Service has not had a report of a tornado on the ground, but it has gone close to being a radar confirmed tornado. So at this point, we are going with the idea that there could either be a tornado or at any point a tornado could touch down. What I'm showing you right now is something called the low-level rotation tracks. So this is for the Buckholz area, and the scale. Purple is weak, blue is stronger. We're starting to see and into the greens where it's more moderate. So what we're watching is the low-level rotation had been ongoing since it's been in Bell County, and now it has strengthened just to the south of Highway 190 and Buckholz in Milam County. So should there be a tornado, this is where the most intense low-level rotation is, hence where the most likely area for the tornado to be. This is heading east, so Pettibone would be in the direct line of this rotation track. And that means you need to be in that safe spot. So Buckholz along Highway 90, as well as Pettibone, those are the areas right here and right now where you need to be in that safe spot, because if a tornado is not already on the ground, it could certainly be imminent and could touch down at any time. So Milam County, This is our warning. It's our only storm on radar right now. I'll go back to the bigger radar view just to confirm for you that we have one nasty supercell thunderstorm. I was out just a moment ago. You can see moonlight here in North Austin and stars. So this is the only game in town. And unfortunately, whenever we have a lone supercell thunderstorm, it basically gets to own the atmosphere. So that's what's happening, is it is taking over all of the juice and the instability in the atmosphere, and it is taking it and turning it into a very violent storm. So Buckholz, the rotation likely right over you and continuing to push off toward the east at about 25 miles per hour. Just getting word, there are some storm picks coming in to the National Weather Service. Also, the 60-mile-per-hour wind possibility, hail up to golf ball size possible, with the tornado warning still in effect. 14 miles west of Cameron just a bit ago, moving to the east at about 25 miles per hour. It would be right over you in the Pettibone area now, and just to the south of you in the Buckholz area. So that's where we have the tornado warning that continues in effect for Milam County until 9:15. The red box right here, National Weather Service is just confirming that they are keeping that tornado warning in play through 9:15 unless the storm weakens. However, they have dropped the hail core down. Earlier it was golf ball sized hail. Now the indication is 1-inch diameter hail with the severe thunderstorm pushing through Buckholz and moving toward Cameron, now moving southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So picking up a little bit in terms of the speed of this tornado warned storm. So the most important thing I need you to do is to make sure that you are, if you are in Milam County, anywhere from Pettibone points east, be in that safe spot. Buckholz, the hail core is probably right over you. Cameron, very heavy rain and dangerous lightning and intense storms pushing over you, and all of this moving off toward the southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So if you are currently in Rockdale, you are just to the south of that tornado warning box. I'm going to put the box over on top of the radar so that you can see the outline of it, and then you'll be able to kind of get a better idea of right in here the border of that tornado warning. So it is continuing through Cameron and just to the north of Rockdale. Here's Highway 190 moving through Milam County. Time now is 8:47. I know that the CMT Awards are in Austin and you're probably excited to watch them. This is the only storm in the CBS Austin area, but folks in Milam County are important to us, and we want to make sure that no one is caught off guard by these storms. So right now, we do have the tornado warning that does continue until 9:15. We're going to stay on the air just to make sure that folks stay safe. This is the latest severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and we've basically cleared everyone except for just this narrow swath between Cameron, Rockdale, Milam County, and far northern and eastern sections of Lee County. So we are getting through this, but we've got to, of course, get this one storm to settle down. Briefly, it did weaken on the east side of Bell County, but then it wrapped back up again, showing those signs of higher rotation, and that's why we have the tornado warning, which is currently in effect. It is in effect until 9:15 for Milam County, Buckholz, Cameron, heading toward Pettibone right now, Minerva, and Hoyt, all within the line of this tornado-warned storm. Possibility of hail up to 1 inch in diameter. I'll go ahead and show you the latest hail tracker with this so you can see where the worst of the hail core would be, which right now, this purple, that would be large hail, 1 inch in diameter, quarter size or larger perhaps, from Buckholz along Highway 190, points east just to the southwest of Cameron and not quite to Minerva, but it is likely from Buckholz to Pettibone to areas near Minerva. You've got hail as well as the potential of a tornado that would be embedded within this storm. So we've got the hail concerns. Now we'll go back to the radar velocities, and this is showing you where that rotation is. Right in here is where that spin is, moving just south of the Buckholz area, north of Sharp, northeast of Davila, and pushing near the Pettibone area, and then heading toward Minerva. So that's the area that we really have to focus in on. Now, one thing that is somewhat encouraging is it looks like perhaps the rotation is starting to do what we call broaden out and weaken somewhat, which is a great sign, but don't let your guard down. Buckholz, Sharp, Minerva, Pettibone, areas east of Davila, Cameron, and north of Rockdale. This is showing that radar velocity where there is potentially a possible tornado either trying to touch down or having already touched down. This is that low level rotation track. The areas, I'm going to zoom in just to the Buckholz area and to the south, is where the highest rotation has been evidenced, is south of Buckholz, Highway 190, Pettibone. So should the tornadoes still be happening, it would be just to the south of Pettibone and continuing to track off toward the south and east, the most likely area of the center of this circulation, with a possible tornado moving through Milam County, bordered by Highway 190, north of Sharp, south of Buckholz, very close to Pettibone, southwest of Cameron. I'm going to go back to the radar and I'll do another storm track for you, with the storm moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and zoom on in, take a look at that tornado warning. And I'm going to go ahead and go from the center of the circulation, and then we'll fan this thing out as it's pushing to the east-southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So here are some new towns and new times for you. Minerva, 9:01. Current time is 8:51. Hoyt, 9:08. Milano, 9:17. Elevation, 9:25. Gauze, 9:31. Hicks, 9:40. Rita, 9:46. And Mumford, right around 9:50. So these are the towns that could be in the path of a possible tornado, in addition to potential of severe hail, with hail larger than 1 inch in diameter possible with this thing. In addition, we could see some winds that potentially could be up to 60 miles or greater moving through the area. So just keep in mind that there are going to be some areas that do have to contend with very potentially damaging wind, hail, as well as the tornado warning. The possible tornado, so far I have not seen any confirmed reports of a tornado on the ground, but until the National Weather Service in Fort Worth, which covers Milam County, determines that the storm is no longer expected to be a tornado risk, I'm going to stay on the air. I know you're watching this show. I apologize, but it is a public safety issue that when there's a tornado warning, I've got to go on and I've got to keep people safe. So those of you in Milam County, stay safe. Stay in that inside area, lowest level, interior room, away from any windows. This was a situation where we had a nasty storm that was out in Killeen, pushed east toward Belton, moved across Bell County, across I-35, and now it's moving into Milam County. A lot of these areas are not heavily populated, but a tornado is a tornado. So we need to make sure to keep everyone safe who could be in harm's way. Another look at the velocities with this. And this is the kind of broad area of rotation that has been what we've been tracking. And I'll go ahead and put this into motion for you as well, so you can see this all pushing in and through into Milam County. Now we'll take another look at the hail core, which is right now to the southeast of Buckholz and to the south of the Cameron area, with the tornado warning that is still in effect until 9:15. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a public safety issue. So I've got to go ahead and keep people aware of the possible hail, the possibility of a tornado, as well the potential of damaging winds with this. Now, my hope is that it appears that some of the rotation tracks are not quite as intense as they had been for the Buckholz area earlier. Now, as the storm is pushing near the Pettibone area, just to the north of Sharp and making its way near Minerva, my hope is that the National Weather Service will opt at some point to say, okay, we're going to monitor this, but maybe pull the tornado warning away. That has not happened just yet. Instead, every indication is that we still need to be on guard for potentially a tornado out of this storm. So there's definitely some low-level rotation. We are watching the velocities, which are showing those winds which are rotating within the storm. And in addition, we've kind of been watching throughout the evening with this lone supercell thunderstorm that had been pulling across areas just to the north of the CBS Austin area and then finally moved in to Milam County where the tornado warning was issued. And this is all because of the storm strengthening once it pushed into Milam County. So the red box, Buckholz, Cameron, Sharp, north of Rockdale, and Hoyt. And this is all pushing off toward the east, just barely southeast at 30 miles per hour. I'll go ahead and put this into stopped mode. And for those of you who are taking the time to send me messages via email as well as on social media, I see them. Unfortunately, it's a public safety issue. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. My goal is to make sure people stay safe, and that's the most important thing. In Milam County, you need to be in your safe spot, under cover, in an interior room, a safe place. Minerva, Hoyt, Pettibone area. The worst of the storm has pushed just to the east and southeast of Pettibone. It's to the south of Cameron, and it would now be making its way right near Minerva. So in Minerva, you need to be in that safe spot. Hoyt, you've got some nasty storms over you, and also continuing for areas from south of Pettibone and Cameron as well, with the lightning, the potential of large hail, and the possibility of a tornado touching down. National Weather Service has issued that warning for the possibility of a tornado in Milam County, including the Minerva area, now northeast of Tracy, north of Sharp, and near the Hoyt area, where within this tornado warning, we have hail potential, we have damaging wind potential, and of course we have the concern of a possible tornado as well with the low-level rotation, which has been pretty well defined at times. Currently, it does look like the rotation has broadened out. It is not nearly as strong as it had been, but the tornado warning does remain and it is still in effect. We'll go back to the shear tracks to show you where the area of rotation had been and how it has started to weaken since it was over the Buckholz area. So Buckholz right here, Highway 190, this was when the rotation really peaked. Now we're watching as the rotation is starting to weaken, but it has not yet disappeared. It is near the Minerva area. So continue to stay in that safe spot, away from windows, as the storm continues working its way off toward the southeast through Milam County. At this point, I'm hoping that the National Weather Service will opt to go ahead and pull the tornado warning and instead downgrade to a severe thunderstorm warning. As soon as that happens, then I will go away and you will be able to enjoy the CMT Awards unobstructed. But because that hasn't happened yet, unfortunately, you are stuck with me. My goal is to make sure everyone stays safe. Whenever we go full screen, I'm covering up commercials. Whenever I go back into that little box, it's whenever the show is back on. Obviously, the goal is to make sure to keep people safe and out of harm's way in Milam County as these storms continue to push through. The rotation is obviously very evident. As we see in this loop, you can see the big hook, that appendage, and that's always a worry when it comes to supercell thunderstorms. It shows you how strong they are. And the rotation, if there could be a tornado still, it would be between Cameron and Rockdale, the Minerva area. In addition, on the north side is where there's the likelihood of seeing the heaviest rain and hail with possible quarter-sized hail falling out of this. And the entire storm is tracking to the east-southeast. It is basically along Highway 190, and it's going to push across Highway 190 and through central and then into eastern sections of Milam County along the way. I'll do a new storm track for you and give you the latest as far as the times for this as it's pushing off toward the east-southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So we'll grab the leading edge of this. We'll push it off toward the east-southeast at about 30, and I will give you the latest times. So here we go. Time right now is 8:59, and Hanover 9:05 for you. Milano 9:15, Gauze 9:17, Elevation 9:25. I'm not sure if Travis Kelce is going to do any singing for us, but that would be kind of interesting. All right, so in the meantime, we're watching as this tornado-warned storm continues its way off toward the south and east. The biggest concern is for a spin-up tornado in that area of rotation. There's the likelihood that there is at least large hail with this, as we've seen multiple scans from the radar indicating right now the worst of the hail would be over Minerva, which is directly on Highway 77 and just to the south of Highway 190. So Minerva area, and then heading toward Milano is where you need to be in that safe spot, lowest level, away from any windows, to make sure you stay out of harm's way. So Minerva, Highway 77 is where the storm is right now. Milano, Highway 190, that's where this is heading next. Elevation, as well as Hanover, Gauze, and Hicks. All of these areas will be in the path of this potential tornado, as well as the hail core and the possibility of seeing damaging wind gusts as well. All right, so there it is. Latest update from the National Weather Service as of 9 p.m., just 1 minute ago. Retaining the tornado warning until 9:15. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. The tornado warning in effect until 9:15 for Milam County. Hail could be up to 1/4 of an inch, which is 1 inch in diameter. And it's close to Rockdale, continuing to push southeast at about 30 miles per hour. So Minerva would be the exact spot for where a tornado could possibly be if there is one. And either way, there is the potential that one could quickly push or develop or spin up. So safe place, inside, away from any windows. Hoyt, Milano, Elevation, anywhere along Highway 77, now heading toward Highway 79 and south of Highway 190 within Milam County, where the tornado warning is in effect. South of Cameron now. So if you're in the Cameron area, you are fine. Buckholz, it has cleared your area. Sharp, it is now east of you. Rockdale, it is to your north, but I would be on guard because this could clip very close to you in the next 10-15 minutes. And Milano, this is working its way right towards your area. So Milano, especially along Highway 190, Highway 77, Highway 79. All of these locations, please be on guard with the potential of a tornado. Right now, it is radar indicated. The National Weather Service has kept the tornado warning in effect until 9:15. And I understand that many of you are wanting to watch the CMTs. Unfortunately, the timing is not great, and it's a tornado warning. And when we have a tornado warned storm, we've got to stay on and make sure to keep people safe. So Hoyt, Cameron, Milano, Elevation, Minerva, and just to the north of Rockdale. I don't know if you're able to hear the music in addition to me. I hope you are, so that you're not missing the show in its totality. Let's see. Oh, fantastic. I hear that you can hear the music. So I know I'm a distraction, but I'm also here to keep you safe. The storm right over Minerva right now. And we'll take a look at the shear again, which is right over Minerva, right here on Highway 77. And still seeing the low-level rotation currently right over Minerva. I know many of you like this song, so I'm going to go ahead and be quiet while I continue watching radar. If anything changes, I will hop back on, but I am going to stay with this until the warning is canceled. I'm pretty confident that they will probably let this warning go soon. All right, so waiting for word from the National Weather Service. I think we're going to see this thing hopefully downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. Remain in your safe spot in Minerva and Milano. Highway 79, Highway 77, south of 190. (911) Milano, 926 elevation, 928 Hicks, 935 Chrisman. Current time is 9:08. On this timing, the storms will be out of Milam County by about 9:25. Once they move out of Milam County, they will no longer be part of the CBS Austin viewing area. So whatever happens with this warning, hopefully it will be okay. Fantastic. I now have confirmation the National Weather Service is going to replace the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning. That's really great news. I understand that you were all frustrated. Just keep in mind, public service. Got to keep people safe no matter whether they're in Milam County or in Travis County. We'll now return you back to the commercials, and then you can hopefully have an uninterrupted end to the CMTs. CBS Austin News will have a full wrap-up after the awards show. Thank you very much, Megan. I appreciate it. My social media accounts are full of people who are not fans right now, but I am just doing my job. I am just doing my job. Yep. If it is your house and you live in the middle of a rural community, but somebody warned you about it, you would be thankful. But if it's not your house, then the most important thing is making sure you get to watch the shows. So, thank you for your help. Appreciate it. No, the crawl needs to stay up because it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but they can ramp it down instead of being continuous to every 15 minutes. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Those of you who are watching still on Facebook Live, I haven't had the opportunity to monitor your comments. However, I do understand that many of you are unhappy and disappointed that I had to interrupt the CMT awards show. I know it's a big deal. It's here in Austin at the Moody Center. It's a huge awards show, and there are so many country music fans. If I could have timed it any differently, I absolutely would have. But unfortunately, our policy at CBS Austin, whether it is in Round Rock or in Rockdale, is to make sure that we keep people out of harm's way by warning them about possible severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. And in terms of restraint, the things that we did as a precaution to make sure that we could both inform you and not totally ruin the viewing experience of the award show was, instead of me covering the entire screen, I covered just a little part of the screen, except during commercials. I understand that because it's music, it's difficult that I had to speak over some of the acts, and so people's safety and their lives are more important. And I do understand that there's a lot of you who are livid, but I can't do anything about it. All I can do is stand by our policy, which is making sure to keep people safe and out of harm's way. Now, right now, the tornado warning, which is still showing up on this map here that you're looking at, the National Weather Service has gone ahead and said they're going to let it go, let it run out at 9:15. So they are going to let it go at that time. The rotation has broadened. It's gotten weaker. Sean says, you're amazing. Oh, you know, if you could only see the entire time that I was on the air with this tornado warning, if you could only see how many people said some very less than nice things on social media as well as by email. And though I didn't get to read them all in totality, I saw the subject lines. And so one of the things that I always tell people when they're getting into this business is, if you want to be, hello, I'm on Facebook Live right now. Oh, it's already done. So we already took care of it. Okay. Yeah, we finished it. The tornado warning has been allowed to ramp down to a severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay.
And it's extending through in Milam County, but by the time we go on, it'll be out of our viewing area. It'll be in Bryan College Station's viewing area.
Okay.
So we will probably be storm free.
Oh, great. Okay.
And if you don't mind having the desk call around and see if Milam County had any damage reports, anything like that. if maybe there are some good pictures and video out of Bell County, that would be awesome.
Yeah, let me ask her.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, what a night. So I am seeing some of your comments and I appreciate you all. Karen, thank you very much. Angela, I love that song that they just played, the Kelsey Ballerini Kane, or was it Kane Brown? I don't know. I don't keep track of everybody, but I knew that song and it's an amazing song. So um, it's so tricky. It's a live event, but it's also a tornado and people's lives that are in, people in harm's way. Whew, what a night. But I do appreciate those of you who have decided not to disown me, like all the people who have emailed and tweeted me. Just a sampling. And isn't this crazy that it's literally the only storm in, a 200 or 300 mile radius, the only storm. And it just so happened that it spun up and strengthened and prompted a tornado warning. It's still rotating. It's got a lot of rotation in it. It's just a broad rotation. And as you can see, that rotation right now would be right over the Rockdale area. So it is still fair game that there is severe weather going on. It just no longer looks to be as bad as earlier. If you had seen earlier, there's that big, huge purple spot that was pretty dominant. Now pushing toward Highway 36, east of Rockdale, Highway 79. But now the hail core has dropped off a lot, which is a good sign. So I'm hopeful that we didn't actually have a tornado touchdown. I wish that Mother Nature would have timed things out a little bit differently, but that was not the case. All right, so those of you in Milam County, this is going to be out of your hair pretty soon. It's moving from Milano to elevation. And the shear that we had been following, which is that area of rotation of the low-level rotation track, has really become less well-defined and weaker. So all of that has improved things. I'm going to pop on storm reports real quick, see what we got out of this. So thus far, we have not had a tornado reported, but there have been some nasty winds. Belton, a 75 mile per hour wind gust earlier. And we had 1.5 inches hail in Rogers, just as a couple of examples. And guess what? We could see record highs tomorrow. It's just insane. Today we hit 86 degrees, by the way. Wanda, there are no other warnings anywhere else. Andy, Wanda, Albert. Yep, the classic hook echo, that's right. So 'tis the season for tornadoes, indeed. This is a season that has already featured some incredible weather and storms in other locations. Mississippi, Roaring Fork, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, numerous areas. Chicago, I think, had 12 tornadoes reported earlier. By the way, just to show you how much weaker the rotation is, the brighter shades of green, which were right over here, were when the tornado warning was absolutely warranted. right when it was pushing out of Bell County and into Milam County. That's when I fired up Facebook Live because I saw it and I thought, ugh, things are going downhill. Um, Fortunately, the storm rotation broadened and weakened once it headed out of the Buckholz area. So, yes, the storm is still spinning. No, it's not spinning as violently. And I am pretty confident that at this point, there is not going to be much more than just some nasty rain and some hail as this thing continues pushing out of Milano and elevation and toward the Chrisman area along Highway 36. So that new severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 10 p.m., but the storms are going to be out of Milam County as early as about 9, I'm going to say around 9:30 or so. The storm should be out of there. So at least that's a little bit of help for you. So here's the question. Should I? Well, no. I'll have this discussion offline. I was going to ask you all a question, but I'm not going to. So Albert and Beck and Jesse and Ken, Juan Ortiz, Cliff, Lisa, thank you all for your for chiming in with your comments, and I appreciate, Sean, your thoughts. Richard, you're welcome. Angela, Karen. Hayden, I am absolutely understanding of the fact that it's annoying to have someone talking about the weather in a small community that you don't live in while you're trying to watch a show. But if you lived in that community and someone came on and they held your hand and walked you through a potentially life-threatening weather situation, you would probably think otherwise. You would be much less annoyed if this gave you the 5 or 10 minute lead time to get into that safe spot so that you would be out of harm's way when a potential tornado or severe thunderstorm pushed through. And now we watch as it pushes its way out, which is great, great to see. Those of you on the CBS Austin Facebook feed, this storm is going to be out of Milam County pretty quickly, probably in the next, I'm going to say maybe 5-10 minutes or so. And this is the last storm that we have. And so I'm pretty confident that probably the only thing we'll have to worry about for tomorrow is a very isolated storm chance. More than likely will be dry. And we could see temperatures soar into the 90s, which will be hot and humid. Our next cold front comes through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And behind it, we've got good chances of rain, especially Thursday, Friday, and even into part of Saturday. Easter Sunday at this point, at one point it looked like it would be a wet Easter Sunday. It now looks like the Easter Sunday forecast is looking a little bit better and a little bit drier, which is good to know as well. So those of you on the CBS Austin page, I'm going to go ahead and end this Facebook Live broadcast with you right now. And after the conclusion of the CMT Awards, CBS Austin, the late news will be on, and then you'll get the full 7-day forecast and all that. And hope you have a good rest of your Sunday evening. And those of you who are on the YouTube feed, thank you so much for watching. It was a little hectic there for a bit. Hopefully you were able to get some information, those of you who needed to know about the storm in Milam County and the severe weather threat. Thanks as always for checking in. And if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube page, I post weather stories, weathercasts, as well as live weather on that channel. And I really appreciate anyone who follows or subscribes on my YouTube platform as well. Take care. Have a good night. Hope to see you after